big old thing on the screen. Whoops. Oh. Oh boy. Well, you couldn't see it, but hopefully you heard it. And that was the lovely Novation Summit. This is an incredible synthesizer. Um, just kind of a short overview of it real quick. We got 3 oscillators per voice, maximum 16 voices. It is dual timbral, meaning you can split or layer or do some fancy stuff with this guy. Basically, 2 patches at the same time. You've got some fun little features that honestly I rarely use, and that's kind of a bummer on me. Is mainly these animate buttons, where they right here, these two. It's like a quick switch of a patch. You can create a whole bunch of instantaneous parameter changes and just click them on, click them off, have them hold momentarily or whatever. Very cool. Obviously all the traditional stuff, but what else you get is some fantastically oversampled oscillators, as they say. It is the kind of traditional stuff. You got your square, your triangle, your saw, your pulse width. You also have this more right here, which is various wavetables. And a few years after it came out, or about a few years, they introduced the ability to create your own user wavetables. So that's what you saw on the other screen. I'm going to switch to that later, and we'll design some, which would be really cool. You get 10 slots in there, but you get a convenient way to kind of manage them outside, so it's not too bad. And also a ton of different sounds in there, different preloaded wavetables. So a lot of stuff going on here. You also have a very, reasonably, uh, you know, uh, it's a good FM section. It's not your traditional FM. You're not choosing algorithms and doing all that kind of stuff, but you get to basically feed certain oscillators back into each other, and you can get some pretty horrible sounds, but some good ones too. Horrible ones are much easier to make. So you get your mixer section. You got a very lovely filter that actually can be a dual filter, which allows you to basically do a high pass and a low pass at the same time. It's a little bit trickier than I feel like it should be, but for the most part, it works well. The regular 12 dB and 24 dB filters are very nice. It's analog, so that's something else. This is a hybrid synth. It is digital in the oscillator section, but it is analog from there on out through the filter and the amp. So, to be honest with you, I was a little surprised how noisy this thing could be. It's not noisy by default. Like, you can get some good clean patches out of there. I don't want to dog it. But when you're getting into some stuff where you're adding a lot of gain staging, or you maybe using a lot of voices at the same time, the way the gates react, all the sorts of stuff, it starts building up and you actually get a fair amount of noise out of it. So it's not too bad though. I really swear. Like, in a mix, you'll never hear it. Even solo, you can easily clean it up if need be. But it's only happened a few patches for me. Other than that, though, it is fantastic. So I'm sorry, finish off here. We got 4 LFOs, 2 per voice, and then 2 global, which is fantastic. I love that. Obviously, it'd be great to have them all 4 interchangeable, but still, just having global and per voice, that's fantastic. That's a great thing to do. We have our effects section, which includes distortion, delay, and also a very nice reverb. The big thing for me that's really lovely, well, but I should also say we have a arpeggiator sequence kind of section here. I don't really use that much either. That's not true. I do some arpeggiation, but I don't know. Anyway, we've got our voice selection here, which lets us switch to like mono, poly, different forms of mono and poly as well. We have one last thing I just want to mention before we move on. So, like, we do have some menu diving in here, which is actually not that bad, but it is nice because you get a whole bunch more features in there. And one of the best things is you get not only one modulation matrix, which I believe has 10 slots. No, 16 slots. 16 slots, and it has 2 sources that can basically be mixed together to then send off to a destination, which is awesome. That's so cool. But we also get an FX modulation matrix, which means you get to use the same modulation stuff that you do in the regular modulation matrix, but you get to use it in the FX just for the effects before you, well, no, I'm sure I guess you could always, but just in most synthesizers, you're getting one. Sometimes they throw the effects, sometimes they don't, but it's awesome. You get an additional, I think you only get 10 of these, but let's find out. Oh, no, you only get 4. Much less, much less. But still, 20 altogether if you count them together. That's pretty awesome. You get some really wild modulation out of this guy. You do get 3 envelopes too. You get a dedicated amp. Then you have your 2 mods, which 1 is dedicated to the filter. 2 is just a free open modulation source. And that's pretty much it. I did mention, yes, we can also draw our own waves. That's kind of a bigger addition they added later, but I think that's kind of it. But in terms of just like bread and butter sounds, fantastic. In terms of really lush, maybe modulating, moving keyboard sounds, amazing. Honestly, this is a great workhorse synth. If somebody came to me tomorrow and said, what's a synth I should buy? I'd probably tell them, honestly, to get the Peak. And I'll explain, but the Peak is basically half of the Summit. A Summit is 2 Peaks together. They literally, I shouldn't say literally, but in many ways they combined literally 2 Peaks. And so there were some bugs and some things they had to hammer out. I think there's still occasionally some issues and bugs. I don't really experience them that much, so that's good. Except for this one, which hopefully won't show up, and I'll just not talk about right now because I feel like I'm crazy. I've mentioned a bunch on forums and nobody else has it, so maybe it's just me. But I will say, and maybe this was in their first run, this is one of the reasons I really was disappointed a little bit in my Novation Summit. This is my second one. My first one I had to go back because I had some keyboard issues. Second one they sent me, like the first one, when you look at the front of the keyboard, it looks like a boxer's mouth. Like it looks like the keys are just like all over the place. And the second one was much better, but it was still that way. And I have a rack of old synths, like pretty old, you know, like early 80s, mid 80s. And their key beds look straight. This one looks pretty jank. Again, the second one was better. This one in particular was better. But it's still, you know, it's just like weird. I can't believe they would push something out like that, especially with the price tag this thing has. So anyway, it's a gripe. But the keyboard beyond that feels fantastic. It's a great keyboard. They actually improved the response to the aftertouch, which was really nice. I think that might have been a hardware revision, but I know they did it software as well, so I could be wrong. But all I know is that the first key bed I had kind of sucked. This one kind of doesn't suck. That's actually really great. I shouldn't. It just looks really rummy. Anyways, let's start making some sounds. What I'm going to do, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do later because it'll be a Christmas treat or Hanukkah treat or whatever you celebrate. But nonetheless, let's just move on. So we're going to go to a new patch. Oops, let's get out of here. Okay, so it's 3. Okay, we're going to take over this one. I put a bunch of patches in here previously by using that editor you saw in the beginning. That is the Novation's Components editor, which is either a local application or you can do it in the browser, and it's really great. You know, I'm really happy that you can do a downloadable version as well as the web browser version, and you can manage all your presets, your banks, create your user wavetables in there, and it's like for all their products, so it's really nice to manage stuff. I give them big props for that because not every company does that. So if you go in there, if you have the Summit or Peak and you have the Components app, you can go in there and see tons of user presets, like a buttload of them. And so I picked out this Bow Beats one, which has some cool stuff in there, but anyways, let's get rid of that. We're going to initialize, which is right here. Now this is going to give us our straight saw, single oscillator saw. Cool. Very clean, very nice buzz to it. Very, very good. I like that. Okay. So let's just go ahead and start by making something bread and butter-esque, and then maybe we'll move on to some more wilder stuff. So I'm going to start with that with that sawtooth wave, and we're going to use this. Sometimes I get a little lost in the GUI on this thing, the UI, the user interface. We're going to add some of this pulse width in there. I'm not hearing much of it. This is very thin. There we go. So the shape knob here handles a couple different functions. You can even have a toggle switch over here to select what it's actually doing. But since we are using a pulse width wave, we are seeing this ability to manage the pulse width with this knob. Listen, phases right out to nothing. That's pretty cool. Almost on that end. I like a square wave with this, with just a little bit of buzz. Okay, let's bring that saw back in this guy, and we're going to lower an octave. So where's my octave? We got quartz right here. There's an easier way to do that. Oh, right in front of me. Okay, well, here. Get that back to normal. There we go. A lot of harmonics going on there. Okay, let's add one more oscillator because why not? We're going to put this one up high at 4. And we are going to, what are we going to do? Maybe we'll do a sine just to give, sine or a triangle. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. You get, like with the sine wave, you get that almost like a organ stop going on there. That's okay. Let's try the triangle. It's got some growl to it now. I like that much. Sine waves are much more useful than I often give them credit in just making sounds, because you know, if you think about it, FM synthesis originally was based on multiple sine waves mixing together. So you really can get a huge amount of sound, but I tend not to use them that much in subtractive synthesis, and I need to stop doing that. Okay. So I usually move right over to the filter, but I'm not going to do that yet. I want to mess with some of the modulation. So I really want to be able to hear what we're getting out of it before we start using that filter to get some of it out. So we're going to leave it on triangle LFO1. We're going to go over to our mod matrix, hitting mod here. And we can see right here, these little knobs, it might be kind of hard to see them. No, you can see them. They align to this little grid right here that points to these 3 different parameter sections. So if I click this twice, I end up on the second selection for the source, but we're going to just do the first one. We're going to go ahead and take LFO1, and then we're going to do destination. So where are we going to go? Well, I think we might need to go to the shape of oscillator 2. There. Our depth, we're going to do about 20. And from over here, we got our selection for the LFO. No fade yet. We might mess with that. The rate is at low, which we're going to stick 11 o'clock there. All right, let's see what we got. Our dominant sound. That sounds really good. A little oscillator one to add some nice crispiness to it. That's pretty nice. Okay, cool. I got an idea here. I want to hear what this sounds like before I can kind of simulate the idea before I need to actually put in the modulation. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take oscillator 3 all the way down. I'm going to go over to this mod matrix again, click it, page, go to second slot. We are going to take mod envelope 2, which is, if I click this little section here now is dedicated to the mod envelope 2. You can see I have a little toggle switch right here, and we're going to send that over to oscillator 3 volume, or level as they call it. We're going to do a depth of, say, 63 should essentially make the whole full level, but we don't want a full level. Let's say 49. Beautiful old 49. I should check if, no, we had one view and no one's hanging out, so that. Okay. Let's do our modulation envelope here. So that's zeroed out, and I want it to slowly come in. I'm going to slowly come down. We'll let it sit on the sustain. So bring. So if I do hold it for a long time, it will go down and kind of chill out. If I let go of it halfway through the decay, or really anytime while the decay stage is still happening, I should get a nice release. So let's see if we can even really hear what's happening. Did I set it up properly? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, okay. All right, let's fix this real quick. Okay. All right, let's do one thing real quick. I'm going to have the decay about halfway and do the sustain down about 3/4 of the way, or I'm sorry, 1/4, 1/3 of the way. So the reason I'm doing that, this is a big thing I like to do whenever I'm creating kind of anything that's going to be real full and loud sounding, is I often will basically allow the sound to start off strong, but then kind of jump down just usually a little bit so it's almost imperceptible. But the idea is that you've kind of slammed them with a sound, especially if this is going to be a sound that's with other sounds in a song. You kind of slammed them with a sound, but then you kind of ease it back to make a little space for the rest of the song or the rest of whatever's happening to happen. And it makes a huge difference. It was such a big, just a big, what am I trying to say? Not like an idea, but it was just it changed the way that thinking about dynamics like that changed the way I thought about a song or music, and it really helped a lot. As you can hear, it slams down too quick. We're going to increase the decay, maybe tap the sustain up just a little bit. Even playing just by itself, it helps a lot because it makes room for the next note. So if you're holding down a big old fat chord, those theoretically are a little bit louder. So it's really nice. It's a nice little tip. All right, well, what can we do next? We haven't messed with the filter yet, which is good. I kind of really want to hold back because I always go there, and I love filters. I love what they do to sound, but I really want to refine something before I send it to the filters. So we still have a ton of mod slots to go. Let's go ahead and use another one. We've got 2 going so far. Page over to mod slot 3. What are we going to do this time? So how about, I should check. I can't remember if I can do the FM slots. I hope so. Yeah, okay. Well, like I mentioned before, we do have a little bit of FM capability in here, and you can kind of see, it's too small for you guys to see, but essentially it's giving me that, for example, this knob would be oscillator 3 fed into oscillator 1. This one's oscillator 1 and oscillator 2, and then the oscillator 2 to oscillator 3. So it's just kind of a little chase they're doing here. So oscillator 3 was our higher pitched sawtooth. I don't want to do that. I think what I'd rather do is use the low sawtooth 1 into, but see, that's the problem. I wanted to go 1 into 3, but I can't do that. So I guess I got to go 3 into 1. I'm going to go with the oscillator 3 is now modulating oscillator 1. Let's hear what it sounds. So I'm all the way down. Pretty mellow. Cool. All right. It's much less abrasive. To use a global LFO, because the idea of the global LFO is that it does not respond to your playing. It's just holding its own rate, its own thing. It's doing its own thing. And I shouldn't say that, actually. I apologize. That's wrong. That's wrong. That is a essence of a global LFO. I don't know why I can't say that. But that's more of like a parameter you set in an LFO. So the difference between these two is just voice related. LFO1 and LFO2 here will react per note. So if I held down a big chord, but I kind of glided into it, you would hear a lot of warbling because each one of those notes would have started its own LFO that is affecting whatever. They're all going towards the same parameter, but they're all going in separate channels. If you do the global LFO, and I did that and I kind of did a little wave of my fingers, basically I'm not playing every note at the same time, I'm kind of gliding into them. The global LFO will take the last note that you played and it'll keep all of the LFOs per voice staying together. So if you're playing big washy chords, honestly go either way, but I would think you'd be more inclined to use a global LFO so it just didn't sound like if you had other things making it washy, you wouldn't want to add more washiness. Maybe you would, but that's a good purpose for using the global LFO. If you're doing things like a lead patch, but you didn't make it a monophonic patch, I would probably go with a per voice LFO because, you're not stacking a lot of notes. You're kind of playing off each other and it gives them more kind of feel. Anyway, we're going to use an LFO. We're on slot 3, LFO 3, the global. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, I got got a plus and a minus to those guys. See that? The idea there is you're getting the full plus and minus means you're getting the full fulcrum, I guess, of up and down of the waves. So for example, if it's a sine wave, you have your 0 point here, it goes up for the positive, goes down for the negative, which are equal power. If you just have, say, the positive, then all you're going to get is just that top part of the wave, and then it's going to start again. So kind of entirely changes the way the wave behaves. But we don't need that right now. I want something that's going to go across the whole parameter like this. So we have it set to FM 10102, but we actually want it to be 03 to 01 to a depth of, let's try 47. I'm going to come over here and select LFO3. We currently have it as a triangle, which I'm going to leave it. It's nothing crazy that's happening, but you can really hear the depth. And remind you, this is dry. This is a completely dry patch. We're just messing with oscillators and modulation right now, so we haven't gotten to a couple of really fantastic characteristics, settings that set the character of the sound. So we should bring one of those in next. How about we try some of these guys over here? So we do have a ring modulation 1 and 2 here, which I guess is going to blend oscillators 1 and 2 together. I think you know what I want to do. We're going to modulate it. All right. We're going to take 2 LFOs this time. We're going to do LFO 3, which is nice and slow. We're going to add LFO4, which we are going to make fairly fast. We're going to set this to the ring 1 and 2. I hope it is one of the selections. I can't remember them all. And frequency separation event. No. Oh, we're in filter section. If you see it. Oh. Ring. Yes. Okay. Let's do a depth of 35. I think that's good. And we are looking at, what did I set it? I set it about, 10 o'clock. Sample and hold with a decent amount of rate. Okay, that's nice, but we are going to come over to the LFO section now. Because I don't have a delay. The global LFO 3 and 4 settings on the front parameter are very simplified. So side here, the LFO 3, 8, here we go, fade time. Do a 24 fade on LFO 3 and a 36 on 4. Let's go back to that mod and let's increase the depth all the way. Let's see what we get. Okay. All right. Finally, filter time. Let's just go ahead and switch all the way. Nada. Love it. I love a filter that fully closes. Kind of drives me nuts when it doesn't. Oftentimes when that's nice. Oftentimes when I am messing with a filter, I think about the sound being bright in the beginning and closing a little bit afterwards. And that's probably because I spend so much time just using acoustic instruments like pianos and guitars and basses and various other things. And the idea is that the harder you play, whether it even be a mouth instrument or a wind instrument, I should say, the harder you play, usually the more impact and more vibration, which is going to be brighter. And then as you play a little softer and lower, it's going to be more muted. So in my head, I almost always stick to this kind of mentality with a filter. I'm trying to break the habits, but I still think it's actually appropriate here. And that is, I'm going to set the filter to where I want it to be when the envelope, the modulation I'm going to use, when that finishes. That's where I want the sound to be. So if I listen, it's nice, but I really want to hear what the filter can do. Ooh. I might not even open this much up at all. But it's a little too muted in the beginning for me because it's like you can't really hear much. It also gets a little muddy pretty quick. So I'm going to do similar to what I did with the amp envelope. I'm going to do that with the filter envelope. So as I mentioned before, mod envelope number 1 is hard-coded to the filter. So if I just bring this attack down, in case you want to know, a zeroed out ADSR envelope is going to be attack and decay at 0, sustain all the way up at 127 or 100, I guess. It depends on these buttons, and then release all the way down. So attack, decay, release down, sustain up. And this way you just get Not going to happen that way right now because this is the filter envelope. But if you did it with the amp, for example, it would just be like instant sound, instant off. Anyway, it's lovely. I almost have a different idea. Not almost, I have a different idea, and I'm almost tempted to do it. Let's just stick with what we were doing first. So, come here and turn my envelope depth. This is now saying, hey, we want this much or more envelope modulation. Yeah, actually, I really like it being bright there in the beginning. Okay, so we're going to do the decay. Very similar to what we did with the attack. I'm sorry, with the amp envelope. You know what? We're going to match it. Let's just see what we get. Almost sounds like a synthy oboe. A few other ones, obviously very synthesized. It's not a bad sound. A little tinny, but I'm going to add a nice layer of two semitones. I almost never use this pitch wheel, so I forgot it was set to, I think, an octave. Yep. Cool. All right. I think we could add, oops, sorry, a little bit of chorus. Ooh. Heat it up just a bit. We're going to bring the filter down a little bit. Sorry, keep getting lost. I love this synth. It's such a beautiful sounding synthesizer. Let's tighten the attack just a little bit. Lower the filter, but increase the envelope depth just a hair. We also have the key tracking up here. We have a couple different filter options, which is really nice. Let's do key tracking about halfway to see what we get. That's not too bad. You know what we're missing? And then we're done. We're missing a little bit of vibrato at the end, which I'm going to do with LFO2. Do I have it dedicated? God, I almost feel like I do, but maybe I'm just confused. LFO1, chorus delay. No. Okay, I guess I don't. Oh! Sorry. Jeez. I talked about the menu diving in here before, and honestly, there's some fantastic parameters in this menu. So let's check this out right now. So first of all, go back to the common. We've got diverge and drift. Diverge and drift, I'd have to pull up exactly to know what diverge is to remember it precisely, but drift is mimicking old school oscillator drift that you would either find in just like synthesizers that needed a tune-up, or just in general, like, you know, they're analog synthesizers. They drift a little bit. So let's go ahead and let's go and blast it wide. Let's just hear how awful this is gonna sound. They're not that bad. So let's put it to something more reasonable. Let's try 18. Cool. All right, let's actually increase the time on this reverb a little bit. Okay, sorry. Tuning table, I believe, is you can actually change the tuning of the keyboard. I don't really ever use that kind of stuff, honestly. It's just not for me. And key sync, okay, that's going to be basically restarting each oscillator will be restarted at the beginning of the, basically, whenever you hit a note, it's going to start all the oscillators, no matter where they are, directly at the beginning of their waveforms each time. I don't really need it on. I'm just going to turn it off since we did a fair amount of attack and you don't really hear much of the transient at the beginning. You get some filter options for the noise. Let's hear what that sounds like. We didn't put any noise in there yet. Just a little bit. Okay, cool. All right. What else we got here? Okay, now we're into the individual oscillators. We have V-Sync, we have the saw dense. Do I have a saw wave? I do on number 1, so let's hear what we get out of this guy. It's kind of similar to, I mean, I thought it was supposed to be more like, and maybe it is, it's getting filtered out, but I thought it was supposed to be more like super saw, like you would find in an old synths. Yeah, it's there. Sound, but we're getting closer. It's like I feel like I need to add maybe a little bit of distortion, but I don't want more grit. I want a little more punch and brightness to it. So, okay, you don't need any of that. We don't need the saw dense for that. Ooh, let's add some saw density to the high pitched. We can actually put a little bit of delay on here now. Speed that up. Back a little down. Oops, that's LFO2. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. See, got mixed up there. Time. There we go. On the higher and the feedback. Yeah, there we go. Not bad. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's try just a little bit of distortion there. Man, I've been spending a lot of time on this one patch. Hold on. That's distortion as an effect. Post mix. This is overdrive into the filter, either into of the filter, I believe. Oh. See, I feel like that brightened it up, and I can take it just a little hair down. Oh, that's it. Love when a patch like this comes together. Cool. Well, I could probably tweak that one all friggin' day, so let's just stop. Because I will never stop. I'll force myself. Alright, what are we going to call that thing? It is definitely got an 80s vibe to it. How would we call it? I don't know. No, I'm just going to call it, I'm just going to do this silly thing. YT5. We'll name them later. Takes so long to do it on these guys. Okay, what we're going to do next, bust out this wave. Sorry, hold on. Save. Yes, we're saving over that. The category of that was definitely, we'll say, a keys. Keyboard. Cool. We're going to bust out the wave editor for the Wavetable synthesis. So I'm going to switch this over real quick. All right. Let us design a wavetable. This is going to be great. Okay, you can see it gives us... Oh, I see if I reset it, it just kills it. Okay. Let's go ahead and just make this guy. In. Not working the way I thought it was gonna. Oh, well, we're gonna draw it anyways. I don't know why it's not. Pretty sure if I clicked on that, it would update it. Reset, but that's that. Okay. Well, let's hear what we got from just this guy. Nothing. Let's draw a little bit. Oh, I see. These are, I see. Okay. Thought I was going to say, oh, what in the world? All right, let's see what we got here. Something. Let's try a little bit more. All right. So you're generally going to think sharper the angles, the more kind of buzz, I guess, it would have to it. Oops. I was like, that sounds amazing. Stop for some. Okay. Well, let's see what we get for number 2. How do I get it to go through the whole thing? Yeah, I should have learned this thing a little more. Why? I'm not here to go through all the different ugly edits. Make some ugly edits. Oh boy, that is a hideous looking one. One will just bust. Let's this one open. This one, some very hard, sharp. There we go. Okay. Well, oh, that's cool. You can actually edit the grid itself. Oh, very cool. Nice. But now, how do I get open NASA Sounds browser? Okay. That's pretty cool. Apparently, you can somehow link into NASA's sound browser. I wonder if you can use those to create waves. I don't know. That'd be pretty neat. Go back here. Let's turn our smoothing up to 100%. That goes across all of them. Well, how do I know what they sound like all together? I guess I don't. Okay. Well, let's give it a try. We are on user table 1, sending it over. User table 1, table. Okay. Well, let's try and see what we can make out of this monstrosity wave. All right, so we are now going to go to patch 5, and we are going to initialize this. Let's see what he's got here real quick. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so in order to get that user wavetable, we need to come over to our oscillator, select more. We're going to make sure we're on the correct slot. Turn this knob all the way over. Whoops, too far because we have to end. Okay, it says user WT, assuming that's my wavetable. So let's see what we get. Okay, nothing fancy yet, but if we take our shape, all right, back in the middle, we're going to set it to LFO1. We're going to increase the rate here. Shape, maybe turn all the way up. Oh, ah, there you go. Oh, yeah, it's probably, yeah, it's unipolar, or yeah, basically you're at nothing here, and then you're increasing or going into the negative territory. As I do like that, and I do, I'm not going to do the sample hold because I feel like it kind of destroys the wavetable synthesis aspect because it changes the sound so much by itself. Let's try a very slow rate. That was painfully slow. How many things actually happening? Cool. I was hoping for this. I'm going to switch back. I realize I'm still on the old screen. And if you listen, as we play it, it's scanning through that wavetable. So I think this is a good chance for us to make, hopefully, a decent sounding lead. Or an arpeggiation. Let's try the arpeggiation. Cool. Let's just keep it going. A nice little movement to it. was talking about, we want it to be where we want that filter to end, the filter envelope. So I'm going to bust down the attack here. I'm going to zero it out. We put a little bit of this depth in there. Release. Attack it zeroed out. Release on that too. Okay. So we also have a dedicated LFO knob here, and this would go along with the filter, the mod matrix, since it's number mod matrix, the wavetable. This is also feeded off LFO1. Okay, I'm going to turn off the ARP for a minute here. Key latch, there you go. Little release, little release. What I'm doing here with the attack envelope, the amp envelope, is I'm trying to basically make a quick attack that subtly dips the overall volume down after that quick attack. So listen. Here's without that. Just sounds like it's being turned on, where if you bring the sustain down a little bit, maybe the decay a little bit, got more of a quick stab in the beginning. Not a bad bass. Okay, so since we're doing mono, we're literally using one voice. You can see over here. One single voice. For some reason it's using 9. I'm not really sure why. I guess, well, I don't know why. We're not in between two roles here. So anyways, let's go over to voice and punch in some unison. So in case you're not familiar with unison, all you're basically doing is taking another oscillator out of our pool of 16 here and just stacking it right on top of that single monophonic voice. So here's what 2. I'm going to turn the detune all the way down. So theoretically, since this is a digitally controlled oscillator, most likely it's just going to double the volume. So here's with 1, here's 2. It's a little brighter. The resonance is a little, well, it's also switching the sounds. It's a little different, but it's mostly just louder in my opinion. So now if we add some of the detune, now you can start to hear. Oh boy, that's kind of nice for a lead though. So a couple of, let's do 8. Oh yeah. too bad. We're gonna have to do a little kind of polishing on it here. Gets a bit intense up there, so I'm actually gonna increase the envelope depth, bring the frequency down. Oopsies. Okay. Let's move over to adding some chorus a little bit and see what we get. Oops. Let's do ensemble. There's two tap, 4 tap, ensemble. That's not too bad. Maybe boost the release a little bit. What is that? Oh, I got the filter. Oh, what mod 2? There we go. Ooh, we might be back in arpeggiator range here. Let's hear. Okay. Oh, we got here. Let's go down an octave. Oops, too many. Okay, let's see where we go with this. I'm kind of digging this. I'm going to bring the filter down just a hair, but I'm going to add some new modulation to it. So we're going to come over to our modulation matrix. Correct the first one. We're going to use LFO2. I don't believe I've used LFO2 anywhere else yet. And add this to the cutoff frequency, filter frequency, to about 15. LFO2, we'll come over here. We are going to use the triangle. We're going to do low, no fade. Let's just see what we get with. Key tracking. You know what? I want to do some captures with my ToneVerk, so some multi-sampling. That doesn't really work with an arpeggiator, but you could take the sounds and then arpeggiate them with the ToneVerk afterwards, so that's nice. I don't know what I'm missing, but it's something. Maybe we need more decay. Yeah, it's kind of nice as a percussion instrument here. Let's hear it with the reverb. Just because I want to hear what it sounds like. Let's go back to a poly mode. I suck at making leads. I always end up making a keyboard or a pad because I just love the way they sound. Maybe a little off the attack. Just here. Okay, something is too much, and I think it is the... Maybe it's the filter mod. filter back up just a tiny bit. Well, I guess I gotta open this frequency up a little bit. Okay, bring some of the reverb down. We're gonna go to a 2 on the reverb time, so it should be a little bit shorter. Much better. It takes away some of that mud, and we are now gonna bring in some delay. Way too much. I'll lower the feedback. Maybe the level actually. Increase the feedback. Level down. I feel like I could spend a lot more time on this one. It's got something dreamy about it. I think, unfortunately, my wavetable I made, I'm going to back it up a little. I think it's just... is necessary. Sorry, I'm being so quiet. I'm just really trying to listen to what to do. Okay. Stay and come down. This is gonna sound silly, but there must have been some movies I watched as a kid that were like 80s, maybe early 90s. Sort of sometimes sci-fi, but sometimes it was just like, you know, action movies or something, and they'd have that kind of like introspective moment in the movie where like the hero or whatever he was is like walking down the street. Maybe they didn't even have him. It was just like an introspective moment in the movie where they're kind of showing people and stuff. There's a sound to it. I can't describe it, but this is kind of that sound. That's it. I love it. That's beautiful. Okay, we're keeping that one. We're going to save it as the incredibly inventive name of YT5. Huzzah. Boom. This is not that bad of a naming system, you know. It works. And let's see if I actually have this right. That's another keyboard patch. Got plenty of those. Let's see. So if I come here and go patch. Nope, I have two YT5s, so this should have been YT6. Okay. There we go. All right. Um, 9:09. We've got time for one more. I've still got a lot of my drink. Water too. Okay. I'm gonna try to make a lead patch. I'm not gonna mess with the wavetables. I'm just gonna try and make a lead patch. My nemesis. I swear, I'm never happy. I will take that back. I love making lead patches on my Moog Slim. Of all my synths, it is just. I feel like obviously it's a monophonic synth, and it is just got the right amount of beef to it, just without much tweaking at all. So it stays very strong. Fortunately, as soon as you bring some resonance from the filter, it kind of wipes a lot of the low end off, but that can be usable too. But in general, though, it is by far the easiest synth for me to make a good sounding lead. Okay, we are now at a different patch. This is called Bobeat's Asylum. That's cool. All right, initialize that. All right, lead. How am I going to do you? We're going to start with a mono. We are going to start with a sawtooth. Okay, let's do a little bit of amp envelope here. We're going to go ahead and zero these out. Boom, boom, boom. Mod 2 as well. All right, mod 1. Cool. Done. Just kidding. Very nice sounding already. Just a nice creamy sounding saw wave. I really like that. Okay, well, let's add a second wave in there and let's see if maybe we can get, I don't know, thickness to it maybe? So make sure this oscillator 1's all the way up. Here we go. Let's just bring it in. So just doubling that up, but it's actually an octave higher, so it should add a little. Okay, let's do a little bit of pitch adjustment. What am I doing? Oscillator 1, page 2, sawdance. Okay, yeah, we have to do it over here. So fine. Just a little bit. Did I get me on there? There we go. Sorry, that was probably annoying to listen to. Ooh. Okay, we're off to something. I'm going to bring the fine tune back down, actually, because I feel like it can be quite tight. Nope, I was wrong. All right, let's add the third one, see what we get. I'm actually going to do a square wave. We're going to do it on the lowest octave. Let's bring this guy in. Decrease the glide time. Okay, all right, sorry. Let's focus on doing something that's going to make this thing sound really good. So let's switch on VSync. Should bring oscillators in a little tighter. Sync on this guy too. Okay, I'm not hating this. That's all right. I don't want to go into the FM land yet, only because to me it's such an easy way to create, for me, an interesting sound that I kind of get there and then I don't want to keep going. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it just a little bit. Let's see if we can get some stuff. Sounds really nice without it. Got a little ring modulation. This is ringing 1 and 2 together. Virtually no change. A little wider in the, almost the noise grit. Yeah, that sounds good. Just a hair less clean. Let's try some overdrive. Okay. Actually gonna come over here and try some distortion. Yeah, it's so noisy already that's not really giving us much there. Okay. Well, now I want to try and use the filter without killing the sound, so I'm going to reduce it to a 12 dB. You can kind of hear. Basically, you've increased the amount of roll-off when you're at 24, so at 12 you get a little bit more of the highs. Very subtle, so I'm going to add a little bit of the envelope depth. I'm sorry. Filter. Why, it's still too high. Here's the attack. Okay. Sorry, keep noodling. Keep noodling. I don't know what to do with it, man. That's where I struggle. Wish I was better at creating leads. I will be. Just gotta keep practicing. We have not messed with synth. Couldn't do some of that. Why is it not there? Go past it? Because where was there? Common, diverge, drift, tuning. Oh no, it was in voice. Where was this? There we go. Modulate the hell out of this thing. That's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to take LFO 1. No, let's go with LFO 2. We're going to set it to, let's see if we could set it to the frequency, the depth of 2031. Actually, we're going to go negative 24, and I'm going to put, this was LFO 2, yes, I'm going to put a delay on that, fade time. Okay. Stuck in that triangle. What am I missing? All right, more modulation. More modulation. Number 2. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Anybody? How about we mess with that FM? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. We're gonna mess with the FM. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do 1 into 2. Sound. All right. Well, what else are we going to add in here? Well, let's get a little more modulation going, I guess. We haven't used modulation envelope 2, so let's go ahead and add another page. We're going to go to mod envelope 2. We're going to crank this up. Let's hear what it does on the pitch. Let's hear it. I think it's the thing. That's not what we're doing. Okay. What should we do? Let's try this V-Sync on number 2. I like it a lot. I like chorus. We're going to try it. That's not bad. I like to usually go to the extreme of those parameters just to hear what it sounds like, you know. Let's hear we get just a little bit of delay. Oh, okay. And we're going to do what I talked about earlier, which is bring down the sustain on the amp envelope and do a little bit of a decay stab. The idea is we get that first initial hit, and then it kind of backs down the volume. That's too much. I want to try open up the frequency a little bit. I do have a couple of filter options in here too. We've got filter of post drive. Okay, we don't need that. Purge. Separation for the dual. That's okay. Try this dual filter here. Okay with that lead. I don't say that all the time. All right, let's save it. That is going to be YT. No, let's go and clear them up. And boop, boop. This is YT7, if I remember correctly. I hope so. T7. Oh, look at this. Lead. Ah, let's never save that category. Feel good about myself. Probably turn that reverb quite down. Yeah. Let's go to a 2, or let's try 1. Cool. I think that sounds great. Save that. Okay. We have time to make one last patch. I'm going to have to do it quick. Well, I guess we're going to have to make a bass patch. I think that's appropriate. All right. Well, let's get on to that. We're going to our next patch, which is going to be Bo Beats Boss. Cool. Initialize that. Goodbye. We are going to set everything up real quick in a zeroed out state. You might notice I'm still doing all these things a couple times because they are in setup and pickup mode, which means they will remain, although this is an initialized patch, but nonetheless, they will remain in their current setting until you move a knob. So I'm kind of zeroing this all out. Open up the frequency, turn off oscillator 1 and 2. I'm sorry, 2 and 3. We're going to turn key tracking down, filter mount down, LFO depth to a neutral position, low depth neutral. Boom. This is down, down. These are down. Shape in the middle. Just doing this because I really want to just see everything how it's supposed to be. We are going to try a bass with a very odd pitch that I think will be nice. So let's try mono LG, which is mono legato. Means we're going to have a different experience. Before mono, we were, every time we hit a new key, it was going to re-trigger envelopes, LFOs if they were set for that. Mono LG will, as long as we play a note and then hit another note while still holding the previous note, it will not reset those envelopes. And depending on the LFO settings, you won't set those either. Okay, so let's start off with a nice. Let's go with a square wave. Do love the nice, huge sound of a square wave. I like to add a little triangle too, just to get some nice depth. Hear that? Got much more beef. Ooh. Triangles to me don't have a lot of high frequency presence, but that mid and low, they are very, very nice. Okay. Sounds like a nice, kind of reminds me of the Miss Pac-Man machine. Dating myself there. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll keep this kind of simple. So what I did there is I basically got the filter to close nice and quick. So here the sustain is low. If I open it up more, here I'm gonna bring it down. Gives us a nice kind of 80s driving bass. And then with the amp envelope here, I did what I've been talking about all night, where I let the sound come in full power, and then I duck it just a little bit, just so it makes room for additional notes. In this case, we're playing a monophonic bass line, so it's not as important. But when generally, for my taste, I'm not gonna do this all the time, but if I have a busy sound song and I have a kind of real beefy bass at the bottom, I want that impact in the beginning, but I don't want to carry it too long, because then it just kind of muddies up the room for all the other instruments. So in here, if we bring this down, it goes completely away. We want it. Cool. All right, let's overdrive into this filter a little bit to get some more back. Took out of the filter. It's interesting. Too much overdrive muddies it. Just that middle gives it beef and clarity. All right. Okay. We can just try a little resonance. I don't think it's going to work out. Well, listen to me. I like that. All right, never mind. Let that be a lesson. If you think something's not going to work out, try it anyways if you can. Well, I think I'm going to bring in a third oscillator to do something on the low ends. There's something there, but I'm not liking everything so far. Maybe I need to. There we go. Okay, so I did want to mess around a little bit with a pitch envelope. I almost never use that because I honestly don't make a whole lot of drums on traditional synthesizers. I should, I'm gonna, but I have some really great drum machines, so honestly I just usually make my drums in those. Including some excellent software. I'm actually thinking about doing some software reviews, or like a kind of tutorial stuff like this with some great software VSTs that I have. So we'll probably bring some of those out soon. All right, let's try a little bit of some pitch. Not LFO2 though. All right. almost sounds like a different instrument's playing. I like that. Okay, I'm not opposed to this. Okay, no, that's pretty good. Ooh, I'm now beefing it up over here. I use that phrase a lot, sorry. I think I'm juicing it up. A little bit of distortion at the end. And I'm going to try a little bit of, just a little bit of chorus. Chorus on bass, man. I really, really like chorus on bass. Let's do some syncing over here. I think that might be something we can do. Key sync. Hear that difference? It's subtle, but I hear it. Yeah, it's a little tighter. I like that. Okay. Well, notes. Let's see. Let's do some V-sync on this too. Ooh, here we go. Dude, that's nice. It almost has like a drum hit to the top of it. All right, a little bit of modulation. We're gonna do the resonance. I felt like that was just a little fun to tweak. And we are, where are you? Resonance. Oh, sorry. I'm still messing around in the source. So over 3. Now we're gonna go to let's try just a little bit. I'm gonna try 3. Increase the sound so much. I guess I gotta go down the depth a little. modulation, matrix setup, we are going to do mod wheel. Make it nice and easy, and this way I control the filter. So unfortunately what I'm going to have to do, because I want to auto sample these, is I'm going to have to increase the filter so that I can use ToneVerk's filter later to mellow it. I hate doing that. I don't hate it, but not ideal. That's actually kind of nice. Let's turn the rate down a little bit on LFO3. Come back here to one that was messing with the resonance. I'm going to turn it down even just a little more. Let's go 20. Simple. Okay, one last thing I wanted to do, and that is going to be, I can't believe I didn't do this on the other patches. Man, I can't believe I didn't do these other patches. I'm going to set it up later, I guess, because I don't want to have this, I want to be able to use the velocity parameters within the ToneVerk and also the MPC Live to kind of open up as I play harder the filter. And so I can do that to some degree with this. So you know, before I actually do a auto sampling of it all. So I'm going to go to a new modulation. I'm going to do with velocity. We're going to set it to the filter frequency. And so theoretically what should happen is so it's way too much, but here's very soft. Increase it. For me. All right, that is my last patch of the evening. I'm going to call this one YT8. I think that's where we're at. All right, so and this is a bass. Okay, let's hear back what we got. I believe we started with 4. No, we started with Half and Ghost. So this is one I made this morning, shortly before the, or not shortly, but earlier today. This was one I called Laughing Ghost because if you hear in the background, there's this kind of like modulation thing going on. Almost sounds like a wheezy old man's laugh. Hear that? I like that patch quite a bit. All right, this is number 5. Let's see what this one is. That's very Juno-esque. Obviously, the chorus is helping, but that's got a very Juno feel to it. I like it. The Juno 60. 106. Juno 106. God, that is some good 80s FM. Even though it's not just FM, this is a mix. I don't know, man. This is a movie. What's that movie called? Best of the Best? With like Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother. It was like about a kung fu match, and guy killed his brother when he was a kid, and he comes back. Oh, it's just perfect 80s, maybe even early 90s. But oh, that sound had to be in that movie. Oh man. And then cool. Yeah, nice little kind of tympanic bass. Tympanic. Oops, I'm doing it again. Okay. Well, all right. Thank you, folks. Looks we have 2 viewers right now. I'm sorry. I don't know if I had 1 pretty much all night, but thank you for joining. But I am wrapping it up. So this was the Novation Summit. A very beautiful synthesizer, capable of a lot of awesome sounds. Particularly keyboard and pads, like poly sounds. I mean, it's just a beauty, a gem for that. And then we experimented a little bit with the user wavetables, which was fun. I will bring this out again, and we'll do a lot more use because I think I want to better understand how to make good sounding ones, and how to make them sound crazy, but like how do I make a real nice, fluid, flowing wavetable? To be honest with you, when it comes to wavetable synthesis, the Korg wave state, just hands down, like I can't believe I own that thing. I'm so impressed with it. But this is still a fantastic synth. But to me, this is a bread and butter with a whole lot of extra. So it's like getting bread, butter, jam, and peanut butter all in one go. So if you had one keyboard and this was it, you're good. You could do just about everything you need for most stuff. Obviously, if you're getting into more really kind of wild experimental stuff, this has a lot, and it can probably do most of it, but you're not going to get that real gritty, raw oscillator sounds you're going to get from like a, Oberheim or a Moog, or because it's not an analog, it's a hybrid synthesizer. But again, fantastic. Probably my strongest synth in my entire fleet in terms of capability. And as much as it would kill me to let go of all my other synths, if I had to pick one, it would probably be this because it's a keyboard, playable instantaneously, no MIDI connections. It has a huge sound palette, capable of traditional synth sounds and much, much more. 16 voices, dual timbrality. I don't know. It's just really a powerhouse. I mean, you really, really can't go wrong. Like I mentioned before, some of the gripes were just a little bit more just kind of some bugs and just kind of the keyboard itself, like literally the physical keyboard was built a little sloppy in my opinion. Still plays really well. I've had no complaints with this one. So that's really good. But I will say there's one other thing. I forgot to mention it, and it is kind of a bummer. It was the way they designed the synth. the way that architecture inside of it is. It has to do with not truly being able to get like a patch without, like, what am I trying to say? It's basically how the reverb, the wet dry, it's how the wet dry functions. And you can't have a wet channel through the aux, which is something that's really nice to do. So if you're recording this and you're like, I would like to have the reverb that's built in, but I'd also like to record it dry so that way I have the option to do that. You will not be able to do that unless, of course, you're doing a MIDI performance that you've captured and are just going to play again, because you cannot separate those channels to the aux output. I think there's another issue with that around there, but I don't use that much, so thankfully it's not really a problem for me. But yeah, beautiful synth. I mean, talking metal, wood, very lovely buttons. It's truly a very high quality instrument. I hope they got a little better on the keyboards, the way they look, because it's a little goofy. But other than that, this thing's top notch. So thank you, Novation. Thank you, everybody who's listened tonight. And I will try my best to be back next week. Yeah, I'll be back next week because it's not Christmas time yet. And hopefully before Christmas, I'll have a big surprise for everybody. Medium surprise. Small surprise. Small surprise. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, thanks so much. Have a great night. Keep synthing out there, and I hope to see you next week.